Significant updates coming in from Telegraph, Marcel van der Kraan. I suppose the first thing to say is that Anthony and Gakpo are targets for Manchester United. It's not a choice between the two. So, look, quick maths here. Very, very quick maths. Love your honesty and everything you say about Manchester United. Keep it the works, as C. James. Thank you very much. So, 50, let's say £50 million on Martinez, £60 million on Casemiro. That's £110 million. Okay, Malacia, but we spent £110 million on Casemiro and Martinez, yeah? We're bidding for Anthony. It's meant to be around 70 million. So that takes it up to 180 million, yeah? You then buy Gakpo for, what, for 35? 225 million, and then they also potentially want De Jong, which we'll talk about in a minute, which would take it up to nearly 300. So suddenly Manchester United have gone from a spend of around 100 to somewhere between 200 and 300 in the space of a week. A week ago, we were looking at a net spend of about £100 million, and we're bidding for Rabiot and we're bidding for Arnautovic, and we're getting beaten by teams like Leipzig for Sesko and Werner. A week later, we're buying one of the best midfielders in the world from Real Madrid. We're spending 80 million euros on Anthony, and that's going to go up. We also want Gakpo, and we're still in for De Jong. Make your own minds up what's going on there, but we've gone from a budget of 100 million to somewhere between 200 and 300. We've gone from bidding for shit players to suddenly bidding for world-class players. What changed last week? It's a question. What's changed last week to take us from a budget of 100 and bidding for Arnautovic to somewhere between 200 and 300 and bidding for Casemiro? We've tripled our transfer budget in the space of 3 days last week. Why? I'll tell you. Because the Glazer out movement got momentum because somebody wants to buy the club who are way better than the Glazers. And they've crapped themselves. And that's what it is. Casemiro on the pitch today. Anthony unveiled today or tomorrow. De Jong bid later this week. It's just completely what it is. The Glazers are trying to spend themselves out of problems. And sometimes life's very, very simplistic. And what can't speak can't lie. We did bid for Arnautovic. We did hold talks with Rabiot for 8 days. John Murta was pictured in Turin. United can't pretend that that didn't happen. They would love to say, we were always after Casemiro. We were always going to buy Anthony. The budget was always 300 million quid. But it wasn't. It wasn't. Because we spent all summer trying to sign De Jong. We did fly to Turin for Rabiot. And we did bid for Arnautovic. The transfer budget, and this is disgusting by the way, the transfer budget for Manchester United's transfer window was £100 million for 95% of it. And for 95% of the transfer window, our recruiters and CEOs and director of football has been working to a budget of £100 million. Somebody said they'd buy the club, and in the last week and a half of the transfer window, the Glazers have gone, we've tripled your transfer budget, get the best players in the world quickly. Even if you're happy that Casemiro, Anthony and everyone else is coming to Manchester United, or potentially coming to Manchester United, look at it like that. Who runs a football club like that? For 95% of the transfer window, you're working with a budget of 100 million when you need a budget of 300 million. When the season starts and someone tries to buy the club and there's a week and a half left, you've got 300 million, go, supermarket sweep. Absolutely terrible way to run a football club. Knee-jerk reaction. This sort of ownership will lead to failure because they've got no structure. It's panic. And this is why I worry about going bankrupt. This is why I worry about what happens next summer, because they'll spend nothing. You know, with the Glazers, if they give you money now, they're going to take it back from you next week. That's how it works. Oh, have it, have it, and then they'll be back. They will be back. So look, United want to sign Anthony and Gakpo. This is coming in from The Telegraph. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. I don't know. The De Jong deal optimises the Glazer ownership, strung us along for another month endlessly, only to face disappointment, says Clarkey. If the board was competent and did this early, we could have got them for less. Exactly, SK. And if we got them earlier, we wouldn't have lost 6 points. We'd have got them cheaper. Great point. Maybe Erik Ten Hag was given the previous regime the benefit of the doubt by keeping Maguire as captain. And Erik Ten Hag we trust. Glazers out, says Braden. Look, I think Ten Hag's made mistakes. You know, no manager should ever have picked McTominay and Fred again, and he did. No manager should be benching Varane for Maguire, and he did. He should have gone with Malacia over Shaw. He should have benched Bruno. But he's also been massively hindered. Paul says, always Liverpool might batter us unless Eric Ten Hag makes some changes, says Paul. We've got Fabrizio Romano on the show at 1:30, by the way, so we'll be able to get the latest on all this transfer stuff anyway and what's really actually happening, so don't miss that at 1:30. But do I think we're going for Anthony and Gakpo? I think Fabrizio did say yesterday that it's one or the other, so it'd be interesting to see what he says. But there is still this rumour that we're going for both. And look, I will just talking about transfers for a couple of minutes. I don't know whether thanks everyone who tunes into the Transfer Hub on TalkSport. It is on YouTube every Sunday night at 8 o'clock and on national radio. It was a good show last night. We got some really good callers in. But I did upset a few people with my approach to Ajax, mainly non-United fans, because basically what I said is that Ajax are keeping Anthony prisoner and they should let him go. To which I got a lot of replies, which to be fair, I agree with. They said, you sanctimonious prats, what right have you got to sit there and tell Ajax what to do? He's a player under contract, they don't have to sell. Yeah, I still stand by what I said. You've got a point, well done. Applaud yourself, you've made a point, and it's not a bad point, but my point still stands. Ajax have sold most of their team from last year and their managers left. It's a rebuild. The Ajax team of the last three years under Ten Hag has disappeared. They've sold it willingly. They've let Haller go, Gravenberg's gone, Martinez has gone, the keeper's gone, the right back's gone. They've sold more than half of that team willingly. Anthony